This are we on to 8, Rick?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good.
We start 8 today.
Good. I was just
Nice.
reading the first paragraph and I was thinking about Ari because,
Ooh.
well, there's a sort of, you're all up on the latest neurology and psychology and stuff like that. And some
Yeah,
people,
this is
uh,
true. I'm a sucker for this stuff.
well, I myself love like Oliver Sacks or A.R. Luria, their studies on brain function and
Yeah.
stuff. But philosophy proceeded for a couple of thousand years, not understanding the brain at all or
Right.
anything like that.
It was to cool
And
the blood.
and there's and there's sort of a view, I think philosophicals can call themselves phenomenologically, phenomenologies or whatever, where they just, how do these things appear to us?
Hmm.
And what's their effect? We don't have to know the brain to dream or to think or anything. It just happens and we sort of just do it. And it's kind of, I think the Greeks had demons, that could, and now we would think of, oh, well, you just bracket all that just, anytime they say demon or god or something, it's just unknown force. The force is perceptible or the effect is perceptible, but the cause isn't. And then they would go on about their business. And I was just like, because sometimes when we talk so much about what we know as moderns, it sometimes confuses that we don't actually need to know those things. And, how our brain works doesn't really help us with good or bad or good or evil or anything or courses of action and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, you
It's
know,
just it's just an it's just another element for use it for like in the bag of wisdom, right? So it
yeah,
doesn't it's not a substitute for wisdom, which sadly is one of the things that I feel like is so rampant is everybody has their specialized area and they think that's the sum of all wisdom. So
yeah. And the other thing, it just looking at 8 here, that you can't discuss the medievals without the Greeks. That there are things we picked up when we studied the Greeks that form the basis of Kenneth's vocabulary,
Yes.
even though we sort of, we can't leave their vocabulary behind because they had words for so many things that we don't have other words for.
Right.
yeah.
And we're right back at it, but I think Kenneth would say that doesn't mean we're arguing for the primacy of the Greek view. It's just that, gosh, they had so many words.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need those
Oh,
words.
we need the words. Oh,
Yeah.
look,
It's
lots of
Sharon.
people have showed up. It's time for me to be quiet.
No, they're still joining. People are still joining.
Oh, but I don't, this,
This is a good chapter.
yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
But,
And,
wait, before you go further, why were you thinking of me with this chapter? I don't know if you
well,
just
well,
started getting in the weeds.
no, it's just that you seem, I don't know, I'm not saying you personally represent, but you always seem to have the knowledge to introduce what's current and
Hmm.
relevant in psychology or neurology
Yeah,
or,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, I like the
you know and
keep up on this stuff.
and
It's
I,
really
I
helpful.
I guess because it wasn't available when I studied philosophy, I was just the sort of bracketed mode. Oh yes, there's the unconscious. We don't actually have to understand the physiological or neurological source of the unconscious to observe its impact on our behavior, we can still make those high level observations or system level observations, even if we don't understand mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's just different for me when somebody knows this. What is that? We've had those three things, and Hegel wasn't clearly thought of it. The
Begriff Verstand, Vernunft.
well, and the being in itself and for itself. And there's the one thing in there, the ability to see yourself as if you were an external object, which is the way you see the brain physically, whereas you experience the mind internally, or however, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, but I know Hegel wasn't thinking of neurology. He couldn't have been.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Science wasn't there yet.
So, but I was just thinking that, philosophy proceeded for thousands of years on this sort of just looking at the phenomena. How do these things appear to us, and trying to make sense of it without knowing how to do any reduction to a lower level. Not that they didn't believe they couldn't be reduced. It's just,
they didn't have cell theory. They didn't have microscopes.
They had no way to do it.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Or all the stuff where they trace electrical activity in the brain or something.
Right.
They had microscopes in Hegel's time.
Say that again?